Hello, hello. Welcome back to part 3. This is going to take more parts than I thought. Waking up your PIMI family. These last couple of videos and the couple that are going to follow, this is probably going to end up being like 6 videos. These are specifically made for spouses and close family members. Obviously, this is going to depend on whether or not you're actually disfellowshipped and how hardcore shunning you are feeling and being treated. I'm specifically making these though for people who are concerned about their houses, their spouses. You're still living with these people, and obviously, we want them to wake up. And these are some techniques that can help that. As kind of a quick recap, in video number 1, we went extensively into one of the most powerful tools, and that is our behavior in using love to soften their hearts first. In the last video, part 2, we went into depth of the effective use of questioning for being able to open up the mind. And today we are going to dive deeper into phrases and words that you can use to reach the heart, because that's what we're going for. Okay, just really quick before we dive into this information, pretty please do me a favor and share this video with any other JW groups that maybe you belong to, whether it be Reddit, Facebook groups, whatever. It would be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful if more people would be able to find these videos. So that would be awesome. Okay, diving right into it. The first thing that we want to do is validate their feelings. Before I go into that, let me explain that for just a second. A lot of us may think that logic is the key that unlocks changing our mind, and that is rarely so. Feeling and emotion is how the human mind changes. The unconscious part of the mind is where all the power is. The unconscious part of the mind is the emotional part. It's the emotional part, it's the imagination part, it's the creative part. It is our spiritual part, that unconscious part of the mind. The conscious part is logical. But if you could think about this in other categories, we may logically know a lot of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean we act on it. It's the emotion. It's when we can combine emotion and logic, ching, then we can put those two together and really get some change. Maybe sometimes when we are talking to our family, we want to present facts, and that doesn't work. That's going to hit a firewall to the unconscious part of the mind. So we really, 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 really want to make sure that they feel safe, that they feel heard, that they feel validated. And like the first video talking about love, that will help soften them so that they're more receptive and because this is how we don't want them to feel. We don't want them to feel defensive. We don't want them to feel attacked. We don't want them to feel misunderstood. So here we go. Validation techniques. Remember, we want to stay on their side. We are not enemies. We do not want to be enemies. So here are some phrases that you can use. Obviously, this is going to be very shocking for them, even broaching these conversations. So words like, I understand why you feel that way. I've felt the same. You see how that puts us on the same page? You see how that keeps us matching? And that's what we want, is we want to be able to match them as much as possible, because that's how we get change. Your concerns make sense given what we've taught. We've believed the same things. Your concerns make sense. I'm not trying to destroy your faith. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to change anything. In fact, I'm trying to strengthen it. This one's probably one of my favorites. I know exactly how you feel. I'm going through the same thing. Do you think this is easy for me? This isn't easy. I know how you feel. I get it. I respect you and I love you. So tell me how you're feeling. Tell me more. Notice how that keeps us out of the argument phase and that keeps us on the same sheet of music. Okay? It keeps us friends and it will keep you as the spouse or the daughter or whatever the label of the friendship is, the relationship is. It keeps you as a unit instead of being divided. Here's another very powerful, powerful, powerful technique, and that is the story approach. Now, the story approach is very powerful because the unconscious mind loves illustrations, it loves metaphors, it loves stories. Part of the reason Jesus was the great teacher is because he had that ability to use stories. Most master teachers invoke the strategy of using a story. It is not defensive, it allows them to listen because there's nothing they have to contradict. You're telling them a story, you're painting a picture. So here are some phrases that you can use with the story approach. I started having some questions when I read whatever. Something started bothering me and I couldn't let it go. I prayed about this. I prayed deeply about this. And my faith moved me to start to wonder. This last one is probably one of my favorites, and I'm going to tell you some stories about how this has been very effective. Can I share a story about a faithful missionary servant, sister or brother? Can I share with you a story that broke my heart? Can I share with you a story that moved me to tears about a circuit overseer? My life story is actually fairly Game of Thrones Jehovah's Witness style. There's lots of tragedy, lots of pain, lots of suffering, and I was a very, very, very faithful sister. I actually had a brother listen to a woke up brother listen to my story, and he had been trying to wake up his wife for years, meeting tons of resistance. He convinced her to listen to my story because I'm a good storyteller and I have a story. And she, after listening to it, she burst into tears and she actually called me. She ended up waking up. Stories are very powerful. And you will find stories of XJWs all over YouTube about our stories. We are you. We've been you. And that can be a powerful way to open them up. The only thing that I would say is be careful that the story that you choose is not the type of person that is going to be highly, highly critical. That could cause some red flags. Pick a story that's endearing. Pick a story that evokes emotion. Pick a story that is the opposite of what your typical uh, apostate might seem to be. Find a heartbreaker. And a lot of times that can reach through barriers where maybe logic won't. Okay, the next tool technique here is acknowledging those emotional bridges. In order to get from JW to XJW, there is a space in between there. And so helping them cover that space, giving them a way to understand that there is a way from point A to point B is will make that safer for them. It will make that feel more comfortable. Acknowledge the fear. I know this is scary. Huh. It was for me too. I know how hard this is. I know, I get it. I get it. Validate their love for God. The number one reason they want to stay in the religion is because they love Jehovah. So acknowledge that. I know you want to serve Jehovah faithfully. I know you want to please him. I know you want to do the right thing. Respect their pace. Understand that everybody makes these leaps at different time periods. You know, some people take months to wake up, some people take years to wake up, some people do it overnight. Whatever your pace is may not be your wife or husband's pace. Respect that by using phrases like, take your time thinking about this. Don't make a quick decision. Take as much time as you need. Do this at your pace. Make sure you take the time to think on your own terms. Those are the kind of phrases that will help us stay together. Stay together. Remember, our goal is not to fight. We do not want those walls of resistance to go up. So we're going to use as many techniques as we can to make sure that they feel the love, they feel heard, they feel understanded. They feel understanded. Maybe someday I'll learn how to edit videos. Okay. Here are some key success phrases. I'm going to skip to the last sentence there. We don't want the us versus them mentality. We are not on the outside. We are their mate. We are their child. So instead of saying them, the organization, our organization. Now, that might rub you the wrong way because you are out. I don't care. If your goal is to win them over, use their words. This is our literature. This is our organization. That will go a long way. I know that one might be kind of questionable. I know some of you are kind of be like, I don't know if I can do that. Well, you try it. You'll probably be surprised that it works better than you think. Even using Jehovah versus God, I personally had a little bit of a hard time with that. But when I say, instead of saying I love God as much as you do, there is a lot more power when you say I love Jehovah as much as you do. Even if you've gotten to a point in your spiritual journey where Jehovah doesn't resonate with you, maybe you prefer words like universe, source, creator, whatever. For the purpose of reaching your family's heart, stay on the same page. And I would highly suggest you try using the same terms. And then it's our organization versus the organization. So some of the key success phrases, I found this in our own literature. I did put here the organization's website, but that's a typo. Our organization's website used to say, this is from the Elder's Handbook. Even the courts recognize, okay? So we're calling on authorities here and we're staying on the same page. It's also important to set boundaries. Remember, we are planting seeds. We are not converting anybody overnight. You probably did not leave overnight. And so keep these short and sweet. I've got lots of animals, so I do lots of training animals. And one of the techniques I do in my dog training, my horse training, is you leave it on a positive note. You don't take it too far. You don't go past when they're exhausted. You leave it on an up note, on a positive note. When the animals are still having fun, when it's still positive. Set those boundaries and stop when it's good. Okay? So you can use phrases like, okay, let's shelf this for now. Let's put this away for now. I love you. I love you. I care about you too much to push this anymore. I'll be here when you're ready to talk. I'm always ready to talk. Let's agree to disagree from now. I really like this one. I'm not trying to change your mind. I love you too much. This one is exceptionally powerful because it speaks to the unconscious mind in what NLP, that's the neuro linguistic programming, it's the tool that I use. It's a technique that teaches us to paint a picture for the mind without painting a picture for the mind. This technique is kind of like in the same category of don't think of a pink elephant. And the first thing they do is think of the pink elephant. When we say we're not trying to do something, the unconscious mind automatically paints a picture of that. So when we say, I'm not trying to change your mind, we're actually letting their mind imagine changing it, changing itself. So we could do variations on that, like, I don't want you to think about these things all night long. I don't want you to stew on this all night. I don't want you to change your mind right away. Okay. You're giving their mind the suggestion to at least think about it. And then adding it on that positive note, I love you. I love you. Always making sure that we're including the actual love that we feel for people. We also want to keep in mind sometimes no is no. If they are asking us to stop, stop. Stop it. They will resist going into conversation 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 if they know they're going to be beaten over the head until they're bleeding mentally. So if they ask you to stop, do it. Obviously, there's other threats that they can make, like, I'm going to cut you off. They might threaten to talk to the elders about you. Stop. Just stop. Stop. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You are not out to convert anybody anymore. We've been trained to preach and we've been trained to convert. And you know what? Maybe morally and ethically that is incorrect. So if somebody wants to keep their beliefs right in this moment, in this second, okay, respect that and back off. And also protect yourself too. This is going to be a difficult time period. This is going to be a difficult transition for them. It is also going to be difficult for you. So stop if you are starting to feel depressed, discouraged, irritated, mad, frustrated. If your mental state is not full of love, compassion, understanding, and patience, shelf the conversation and come back to it another day. Remember that our long-term strategy here, like again, it's a marathon. Nobody's going to wake up overnight. Plant a seed, walk away. Sometimes a 5-minute conversation is going to be better than beating a dead horse for an hour. Plant a seed, plant another seed, plant another seed. You are a farmer here, okay? Being available when they're ready to ask questions. And this, I love this one. I love this one. I love this one. Model a happy, fulfilling life outside of the organization. The more you are beating, destroying the belief that apostates are bitter, angry, hateful, miserable, God-forsaken souls, you are winning. So the long-term strategy is winning them over without a word. By our conduct, yeah, we're going to use that technique too. The happier you are, the more loving you are, the more fulfilled your life is. That example will go a long way in winning them over. Okay, this video is getting longer than what I expected. Whoops, longer than what I expected. So coming up, part four, we're going to be talking about what absolutely not to do. What are some of the things that we are absolutely 100% doing wrong? And then I'm also going to do a video on more techniques because there are a lot of ways. Save this video, watch it multiple times because you also get these conversations that come up that you might not be prepared for. Make sure that these phrases are blazed into your brain. So it's not like you have to have a notebook of words right in front of you. Practice, practice, practice so that the words can roll off of your mouth, so that you are ready to present a defense for your faith. Don't you love how I twist the scriptures? Okay. Please, 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 if you would please leave me a like and a comment. Any comments are helpful for the YouTube algorithm, and specific comments about scenarios, situations, problems that you have, definitely post those and I will make a video just for you. Okie doke. Part 4 is going to be coming up soon, and I will talk to you soon.